at 11 o'clock.
Sounds good. Go ahead and Tanner, do the roll call.
All right, when I state your jurisdiction, if you could please state your name, that would be great. For your agency.
Thanks, Mike.
Benton-Franklin Transit.
Yeah. Kevin Sliger.
Benton County,
Matt Rasmussen.
City of Benton City. City of Connell. City of Kennewick. All right, City of Pasco. City of Prosser.
Party Groom.
City of Richland. City of West Richland.
Roscoe Slade.
Franklin County.
Jeff Wagner.
Port of Benton. Port of Kennewick. Port of Pasco. And WashDOT South Central.
Phil Nugent.
Tanner, did you catch Heath was here from City of Kennewick? He was muted.
Yeah,
At least
I caught that.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
Sorry, I fat fingered.
you. All good.
I'm here.
All right. And Aaron and team, thanks. I see we got our second public comment back on the agenda. So we'll jump right into our first opportunity for public comment. Raise your hand if you have any public comment from our guests. Nope. You see any, Aaron?
Nope.
Do you have anybody there at the TAC office with you?
Just staff.
Just staff here.
Just staff? Okay. All right. So we'll move on. Looking for an approval to the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you, Matt.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, we got approved agenda. In your packet was the meeting minutes from the October 2nd meeting. So looking for a motion and second to approve the meeting minutes.
Move to approve the meeting minutes for October 2nd, 2025 as presented.
Thanks,
I'll
Matt.
second.
Thanks, Jeff, for the second. Any comments? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we've got approved meeting minutes from our October 2nd. And I think Carlo from City of Richland just joined in.
Maria too.
Okay. You've got those, Tanner?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We don't have any action items. That's a rarity for us. So we'll move on to reports and discussion items. 7A's. Tanner's given us an update on the federal fiscal year for 2026 obligation status.
Yeah, so caught that new name change for the title for the obligation status. It kind of corresponded with the tip and everything. So this is now called the federal fiscal year 2026 obligation status on the agenda. And for federal fiscal year 2026, we have a very hard estimated target of around 5 million. We won't know that amount for a few months, but it is confirmed that we did meet our target for 2025. So that's why the 26 target is reduced. We have a total of 13 projects programmed to obligate this or in 2026 that amount to over 8.1 million. As you can see also on the obligation status table, we added the estimated obligation date section in there, and everybody responded. If there's any updates or any discussion, please feel free. And yeah.
Roscoe,
So-
can I add one thing real quick?
Go ahead, Aaron.
Just as an update, building on what Tanner said, so this past week, we had our statewide MPO, RTPO, WashDOT Coordinating Committee meeting. And just as a heads up to everybody, so with the government shutdown, we are still operating under a continuing resolution. I believe this happened last year, so we don't know our exact target until another continuing resolution is passed. So with the government shutdown, that does delay any sort of talks that would then prompt us to be able to find out our exact target. Like Tanner said, Tanner's come up with an estimate based upon how much we're anticipated to receive versus overspending last year. So the estimated amount of 5 million is our best guess based upon this exact same thing happening last year.
Tanner, one request is,
Yeah.
since we can obligate early, can we also, when we bring these forward, oh, you already have it. You already have 2027. Jesus, like you
Yeah.
worked with me, you know what my questions are going to be. So, Okay.
When you put both years on one slide, it makes the table so much smaller, so,
Okay.
I will always include the 27 on the next slide for sure.
okay, so we've got some other projects, another 1.8. So we should have a lot of projects. Since we had that last call, we have a lot of projects that now we can obligate to meet that. So cool.
Yeah.
Any questions for Tanner? Obligate early so we can get somebody else's federal money.
Yeah,
What's
and
the
that being
deadline?
said, another addition is by the April TAC meeting, everyone who has projects programmed in 26, if they are not going to meet that target, which for BFCOG is the end of August to ensure the end of September, federal deadline is met. You have to do a come clean during the April TAC meeting, and then you'll be granted a 1-year extension. If you do not state that you anticipate missing the target and then you do, funds will be shifted to other projects on the contingency list, and that's part of the TIP policies and procedures that were updated. So just a reminder with that, and our TIP policies and procedures are on our website.
And Tanner, we're going to focus on the good stuff. What's the
I
early
agree.
obligation if we get our 5 million done early that makes us eligible for somebody else's money possibly?
Possibly, yeah, yes, that information, it's kind of up in the air right now because it's so early, but possibly, yes.
What's the date though? It's not September. Is it end of July?
Oh. Yes, the end of July for our region to consider early obligation, end of July, yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
so if we can
yes.
get our 5-minute goal obligated by the end of July, if other regions or other parts of the state or other states haven't obligated their funds, that may make it eligible to come to our region. So shoot for the
Right.
July if possible. So, all right.
Hey,
Anything
Roscoe,
else?
yeah,
Go
in
ahead.
that case, are we moving to the contingency list to obligate those funds that we get, or are we doing something different when that situation happens?
Yeah, I that's probably a good question, Aaron. Have we got extra money before because we met the obligation early?
We have got redistributed funds before, but as all of you did an excellent job meeting your obligation target, statewide, we barely slid by. And even if we do meet the target, say July 15th, and we ask for redistributed funds, it's not a guarantee that we will receive it, but it does position us knowing that, hey, we are asking for additional funds. At that statewide meeting, there was also discussion about WashDOT's role in the redistributed funds and having them carry a big weight of meeting our target as well. So that is another thing that we'll be tackling as MPOs and RTPOs around the state, of us meeting our obligation target versus WashDOT as well.
Aaron, but when that new money came into our region, how did we
Mhm.
allocate it? Did it go to a contingency list, or did we have another call? Do you remember?
Contingency list.
Okay. Good to know.
And
Good question, Carlo.
once we do get the funds, I'm going to, off the top of my head, the call for projects guidebook says that given a proper amount of time, we would do a new call if it exceeds a certain amount or if it is a new source of funding. But if there is a crunch for us to obligate, it goes to the contingency list, which is the preservation projects.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna ask, if we had that written down somewhere, because it makes sense to have those decisions made rather than having to make them on the fly. So
Trying to read your mind, Matt.
there we go. No, I
Perfect.
think that's a good, yeah, because we get that extra money, we want to show that we can spend it quickly, so they want to give it to us again and again.
Okay, any other comments, questions for Tanner? No? Okay, we'll move on to 7B, which is the RTP 2050 goals and regional metrics. Is this yours, Aaron?
Yes, it is. All right. So this is a briefing conversation for all of you. This is not an action item, and I will be bringing this back to all of you next month. So just as a reminder, the planned purpose of the regional transportation plan is a long-range framework to guide transportation priorities and projects in our region for the next 25 years. And also included on the screen is our sweet regional transportation plan logo. But I will be talking about the RTP goals and then how that filters into the regional metrics discussion. Tanner, if you go to the next slide, please. All right. So within your TAC packet, I've included more information, but I want this to be a very high level discussion as I will be briefing the board on these same items this coming month. So last time we did our regional transportation plan, the board carbon copied the goals we had in our previous plan and just said, we'll use those again. And that's great. However, we are hoping to have a little more engagement from our board this time around, and it is being asked of us by our federal and state partners to do that as well. So with that being said, we're having that discussion later this month, and then we'll be adopting the goals in December, not to full detail, but to know how things stack up within our region. So how are these goals decided? So there's the Washington State Transportation Plan policy goals, and those are included in your TAC packet, but I'll just read over the 6 of them. So it's preservation, safety, stewardship, mobility, economic vitality, and environment. Those are required. And then there's also 10 federal planning factors that are required of us. I'm just going to read the words instead of the entire sentence. But it's economic vitality, safety, security, accessibility, environment, integration and connectivity, efficient system, preservation, resiliency and reliability, and travel and tourism. So each of those 16 bullets, there's some overlap, but from there, within those becomes the regional transportation goals. And what I will be asking the board this coming month is there's these high level terms that I just went over, such as preservation, safety, stewardship. What are the priorities that the board sees? So what's the number one thing for our region? Is it safety? Is it preservation? Is it mobility? Is it environment? Is it economic vitality? Because as staff, when we are looking at goals and especially looking forward into 25 years into 2050, it's hard for us to know how we should be prioritizing projects and helping all of you receive funding. If everything's a priority, nothing is a priority. So we're trying to ask the board, what is the number one priority for transportation? Is it safety? And then that will be how our goals are set up. Tanner, if you go to the next slide, please. So what does that mean for the regional metrics? So we have those RTP goals on the left-hand side. For this example, I put 5 up just because there were 5 goals in the last RTP. Doesn't mean that there's going to be 5 this time. But with those goals, they shift over into the regional metrics. And as I said, next month we will be adopting regional metrics, but it will be at a high-level bucket. I'll say at a bucket kind of overview. And in the next 6 months at the TAC level, we'll be having more in-depth discussions about like what we did for the call for projects on what the thresholds will be. Is it average daily traffic versus average annual daily traffic? I'm not asking the board to get into that level of specificity. That's something that will be handled at the technical level here. So we have those RTP goals, and they will be looked at in the regional metrics under 5 different views of transit, land use, car, active modes, and freight. And you can see that there are the goals under each one of those different modes, and they will be weighted differently based upon what the board says. So if they said safety is the number one, then safety would have the highest points per that mode. I want to be real clear about this next thing. So as we have these regional metrics, why is this being done or asked of us? As an MPO and RTPO, we are required to have performance-based planning. That's required by the feds and the state. There are federal performance measures that we track. However, federal performance measures only paint part of a picture, and there's still state required measures and targets that we have to track as well. And then we also want to be able to have a regional context for all of you to be able to identify what regionally significant projects are. So you can have a more accurate way to say, here's how my project impacts the region. But with that being said, if you can see me on the camera, the regional metrics are over here. It does not interact with the call for projects. So how these are done right now, they are done differently. So how the projects will be scored in the MTP are not related to the future call for projects. The regional metrics, how this will be done, how we have the staff score part of the projects that were submitted. Those are the strictly data portion of the projects. That would be the quote unquote regional metrics portion. And then when the call for projects happens again, there will always be that subject matter expert of the TAC having part of the scoring done. So these regional metrics and how the projects are shown here is not how funding will directly be flowed to projects. I just want to make sure that that is relayed to all of you that these are two separate things, and this is not exactly how money will be flowing. Another thing I wanted to touch on with the regional metrics is this is very timely, as all of you are having to develop multimodal level of services for your comprehensive plan. Part of doing this is in aid to all of you for doing that. So there's that active mode. We're updating our pedestrian level of traffic stress, our bicycle level of traffic stress. And then we'll be looking at transit with BFT, land use with our land use scenarios and the model update, the car level of service, and then the freight level of service as well. So with that, I can answer any questions. And my only ask to you is just let your board members know that this discussion is happening. And if there's something that is of major importance to your jurisdiction, to have them come voice it at the board meeting, because we want to make sure that each of your needs are represented in the RTP.
So Aaron, just to be clear, what's going to the board?
We're just going to be having a discussion about how I mentioned those different, we'll say 6 policy goals in the Washington transportation plan, asking the board, so what's important to you? Is it safety? Is it stewardship? Is it mobility? Is it connectivity? And having them give us a list of, okay, number 1 is safety, number 2 is connectivity, so on and so forth.
Are we not gonna discuss that and give them a recommendation from staff and TAC?
Yes, you will. This is where it becomes a little, I'll explain this. So this is where the board, that's where I'm asking you to have a recommendation of discussing with your board members about this. This will be coming back to the TAC next month. So if there's any, I want to report back on that discussion that they have. So if it's in direct conflict of what is thought of at the TAC level, that's where we'd be able to come back and have the discussion in December.
Okay.
So it is not just going to be adopted without any of you having seen it before. I'm briefing the board this month about it, and next month there will be the action.
Go ahead, Carlo.
Yeah, I mean, I think since we're all working on our comp plans and things like that, and those, especially transportation element has goals and policies that we're developing. It would be good. I don't know, especially since the board members might not be all that involved in the development of the comp plan at this point in time. And what is being identified through our surveys of our, respective jurisdictions, as the primary goals of our communities in transportation. I don't know that they would have a really great set of input without having the TAC sort of making recommendations first, unless this is more of like surveying them just to see what their input is. But it's weird how things are timing out, and that's my only real concern as we're all developing our respective either transportation plans for our cities at this point in time and our comp plan goals and policies. So my concern is it's that it's not timing out quite great, so that they can make informed inputs into that RTP, but that's all.
Thanks, Carlo.
Carlo, what would be the desired timing of that?
Well, I mean, yesterday we had just in our transportation system plan talked about the goals for our transportation system plan, which feed into our transportation element of the comp plan. We won't have like the comp plans adopted till, mid or late 26. But so that's what I mean. It's not timing out great, but I think that there's a lot of good discussion to have about what people think the primary goals of our RTP should be. I just I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know if others have input.
So Carlo, like for us,
Right.
Aaron at West Richland, our consultants on board, and where we're at now is they've just done a analysis of our existing transportation element goals and policies and identified areas that need to be updated to meet recent law changes or that kind of stuff. So right now we're at the point where it's just, here's areas that we need to have discussions on at the city level to update. But I guess the other point too is for West Richland, now that the elections are over and we'll have new council members after the first of the year, they will go back and do new assignments. So I don't know how many other agencies you may have new board members assigned to the Council of Government. Too is the other thing to consider, Aaron, is
Yeah, that was considered.
I don't know how many other. I think for West Richland it's Kate Moran, so she wasn't up, but they still usually mix assignments up, so it could change for us. I don't know about the other cities or county, but that may change your board makeup too, right in the middle of this.
I believe we only have the representative from Kennewick will, if barring any committee changes, we are having one, possibly two board members change based upon election cycles.
Well, the county does reassignment of all of its committees on an annual basis. So whether the people change, they may take on different roles on these committees. So it's possible that the county could change too. Is there a time frame that you have to hit, Aaron, that you're working towards?
Yeah, and this it just goes into shaping the development of our public engagement for early next year with the survey closing as well. Being able to have discussions with our focus groups and through our community engagement saying, here's the direction that our board is hoping to go. And Carlo, kind of like what you said, the discussion I'm hoping to have at the board level is polling them of saying, okay, and it's not necessarily, pulling them saying safety is an issue, or it's our number one concern. It would, and that type of high level information, okay, connectivity is the next thing. It's not getting into any specificity yet. That will, the specificity of each goal will be done more at the TAC level, that we'll be bringing to you. It's just trying to have the board be more engaged in the earlier process of the regional transportation plan. And then Matt, to your question, delaying trying to get this going will put us at a awkward stage with our public engagement of saying, we don't know how our board stands when we're coming to talk to all of you, to see if how you want the system to be in 25 years matches with the direction that our organization is hoping to go.
Any other comments?
The only, I mean, part of me does say, though, it makes sense. I mean, sometimes I think we've driven this regional plan a little bit, I guess, backwards, where the jurisdictions come up with their plans and then COG tries to build a regional plan around all of that. It almost should be the other way around. And so having this done a little earlier ahead of our finishing up our comp plans may make sense. You know, the regional plan to me should be very big, broad brush picture. And then we would go within our comp plans and say, here's the steps we're taking to meet the regional goals. So part of me says the way that they're doing it does make sense. It's different timing than I think we're used to, but it may not be a bad thing to have this wrapped up before we finalize our comp plan work.
Matt, I really appreciate you making that point, because if, for example, the goals that are not adopted, we'll say at this time, by the time your comp plan is done, you'll be planning in consistency with our last plan, or transition 2045, which, like you said, was developed backwards. And all of your comp plans at some point state in it, they were developed in coordination with the regional transportation plan. But having the plan be much more broad stroked and then it funnels down to you, I don't think there's going to be anything radical posed by our board, unless somebody wants a light rail system or something like that. But I envision all of you would hear about it before I tell you. But yes, that's, we're trying to be more proactive than reactive.
Yeah, I don't like saying we developed it in conjunction with a regional plan that didn't exist when we adopted our plan. That's not
Exactly.
not a great place to be. Or sometimes we'll put in there is that we comply with the regional plan as it's adopted and amended. Well, it'd be really nice to know what it's, I don't like that either, because then it just leaves it too open-ended.
Exactly.
Kevin, are you going to bring up the water taxi? Is that what? No, go ahead.
Oh, you know, we'll be talking
Hey, if
about
anybody's
that.
going to do light rail, it's going to be transit. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll be talking about water taxi tonight and at tomorrow's Future 2075. But I just wanted to take the opportunity to let everyone know that BFT's ready to coordinate with all the jurisdictions on the transportation element of the comp plans. Both West Richland and Richland have been proactive in reaching out to us. There is a new requirement for a multimodal level of service, which includes transit. Something that BFT is going to work towards is making sure that, you know, that language is consistent or somewhat consistent across the jurisdictions. You know, we just met with Richland, and their consultants are encouraging us to take more of an access-based approach on that, meaning, you know, we're not getting down to the level of, you know, roads and density and saying if density reaches a certain level, we're required to put a route there. We're really taking an approach of here's our existing service, some areas we may plan for the future, and infrastructure should follow suit and be more accessible, or at least be a focus in those areas. So yeah, just inviting and encouraging everyone to be proactive and reach out. And we are working with West Richland and Richland at the moment. So that'll help us to kind of solidify our approach to that. And, you know, we'll be trying to really make that consistent across the jurisdictions so we can get some regional consistency. So.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, and with that, I do have to step out. So thank you, everyone. But I just wanted to make that comment. So
Perfect.
thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to our second opportunity for public comment from our guests. I say guests. Do we have, is it just Dave? And Spencer, I saw Spencer come in, so we got a couple guests.
And Veronica Sullivan is here as well.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Just for a quick note, the City of Pasco is doing their final open house on November 13th at the Pasco Mid-Columbia Library, talking about pizza and plans. We're doing a comprehensive safety action plan, so I'd love anyone and all to come and join and talk about any safety concerns they might have. Also, Hate Ship for Cities is also out, and the deadline is March 6, 2026. So if you have any safety projects you need to help with, please reach out. Have a great day. Thanks.
Thanks, Veronica.
Veronica, which branch of the library is that at?
That is at the Pasco Mid-Columbia Library located at 1320 West Hopkins Street, Pasco.
Hopkins, okay.
Anyone else?
I don't think I have anything, Roscoe, but I continually amazed at the complexity of the work that you guys are tasked to do. So congrats. You do good work.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. All right. Aaron will make sure that gets in the notes, goes to the board. We got to thank you.
That's not in all caps.
It should.
Yeah. Let's see, we're on to member comments. So see if I can get everybody. This is tougher doing it remote. We'll start with Carlo, City of Richland. Any updates for us?
Yeah, so the Downtown Loop project, which is also known as Downtown Connectivity, we do have a public meeting, open house on the 13th, November 13th at 6 p.m. at the Richland Public Library. So if you want to see what we've got going on and pour over some plans and see what's going to hit the street next year, please come and take a look. We're also about 3 weeks away from finishing up all the work we can get finished up at the South George Washington Way, Columbia Point intersection. So we'll have, before the winter shutdown of that project, we'll have all of our poles up and our new traffic signals functioning. We'll have some landscaping restoration and some other sign work that we need to do that will go over the winter and be finished in the spring. And I think that's all I have for now. Thanks.
Thanks, Carlo. I did get a question, Carlo, on your 2 roundabouts on Supertail. When were those slated, the schedule for those 2?
Yeah. Still, we're about at 60% design. We've just started right of way. We want to start construction in 26, but it really all depends on how far we get with right of way. All the right of way stuff is with, corporate commercial entities, and that could take quite a while. So we plan to start construction in 26, but it really just depends on right of way.
Okay. I've been telling people into 26, beginning, maybe possibly 27. So we're still in the same ballpark. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, Jeff, Franklin County.
Yeah, so currently we're finishing up our Glade Road overlay project. We just got the striping left to do. Should be doing that today or tomorrow.
Yep.
And then doing a lot of pavement rating for crabs. So that's what we got going on right now.
Great. Thanks, Jeff. Heath Malott, City of Kennewick.
Hey, Roscoe. So what we have is we're going to be getting the poles and mast arms up at the Steptoe Arrowhead intersection in the next couple weeks. And so we just got word too that Richland's developer at the intersection just to the north, the Taptail intersection, is going to be working on that intersection as well. So I would avoid Steptoe altogether in the next couple months. And then we've got our Columbia Center Boulevard. We're still pushing away with JB on the design. We're at 60% right now. We're just bringing on a right-of-way consultant as well in the next month. We'll get them going. So we expect that to be in the right-of-way phase, probably about a year and a half. So we can get that all wrapped up for construction for that first phase, which we did get money for between Grand Ridge and Quinault. We're open to go for construction in 2028. So still chugging away on that project. And that's about it for Kennewick.
Thanks, Heath. Maria, City of Pasco.
Hello. Not a lot new. Still a few projects moving forward and trying to get them wrapped up before the winter. So not a lot of new things here. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. Marty, City of Prosser.
Yeah, just finishing up our TBD project, and we have a ADA project going on that should be done next week. That's about it.
Thanks, Marty. Matt, Benton County.
We're just wrapping up design on a couple of safety projects, trying to get that pathway project that we have funded here caught back up, but it won't go into construction until the spring. We'll have a safety project out for bids here pretty soon. Plan on construction for that in the spring, and another one will follow that right behind with construction in the summer. So not a lot of actual construction work going on, but we should be pretty busy with that next year.
Great. Thanks, Matt. Bill, anything for WashDOT?
I don't have anything for this group at this time.
Okay. West Richland. So the SR 224 Red Mountain project, they are working on getting the roundabout at basically Van Giesen and Belmont paved. So they're before the winter shutdown goes. That project will be working over the winter. They'll be doing some concrete work on the canal lining. There's a roadway shift on Van Giesen by the post office, so they got some winter work going on. But I think the best news is the transfer of jurisdiction, the final one that we needed between DOT and DNR was completed at the end of October. It's getting recorded. That right away will be certified. And so we will be able to construct phase 2 of the project, which is the last 1,500 feet of pathway that takes the pathway all the way to Antonori Road and doesn't end it at an odd spot. So good news for Benton County and the AVA out there that we've got that done. And so it's unfortunate we can't just issue a change order. It'll be a separate project. So that's slated right after the first year to go out to add and award in March. Hopefully we get the same contractor to do that last little bit of pathway out there. But everything else, again, trying to button things up before winter time. So did I miss anybody? Other than Aaron, anything from council government staff?
I have one thing that Tanner does, just a reminder of the Future 2075 dinner tonight. Looking forward to seeing you all there that are participating, and then the all-day event tomorrow. Just come with your thinking caps on.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I will be sending out an email to request the primary member and alternate for TAC representation. There's kind of been some fluctuation recently, and so I just want to make sure that I have the correct names on this list. So be on the lookout if you respond when you can, please.
Sounds good.
And then
Thanks.
Ross, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I can't remember, did you say you were going to be out of town for the TAC meeting next month? I know Maria said that she will be out of office.
Is it the 4th?
Yeah.
December 4th?
That is correct.
Nope, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, I won't skip out on the last meeting and make Maria start early, so I'll finish her to the end.
I would have not been able to start though, because I'm all the way back in Argentina then. So
That's a pretty good excuse, but okay. No, you're good.
She knew what you were planning, Roscoe, and she planned
Yeah.
accordingly.
Yeah. Dang it. No, it's all good.
An
Anything
expensive
else?
strategy, let me
Yeah,
tell you.
expensive.
Just to not have to chair the last meeting. I don't know.
Oh, well. Oh, well. Okay, anything else for the good of the group? All right. We'll see everybody next month. Thanks. Or probably tonight, most of you. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.